Hi everyone, I'm Maggie Weldon from maggiescrochet.com, and I'm here to introduce you to 7 projects that cover things. So the first project that I'm going to show you is a soap dispenser cover right here. This was made with worsted weight yarn, and you start it from the bottom, and then once you establish the rows, the rounds along the sides, it's the same stitch all the way up, and then there's a little shell round on the top, and then the little tie with the cherries on it. So that's worsted weight yarn, very easy skill. And then the next one is a can cover. So this would fit like regular soda cans or even these skinny cans that you see right here. It's pretty skinny. So anyway, that's a nice little gift, especially like for Father's Day or something, but you could do them in all different colors. And then this one is a bottle cover, and this is very, very stretchy. Like I could even put this mason jar inside of this. So you could use this for any size water container, and this is great for when you go on hikes, which I do sometimes, not as much as I would need to. But anyway, this is very, very easy. It's a great beginner project also, and this is started at the bottom with 3 rounds of double crochet, and then you just do a netting stitch all the way up, and then you chain and then work back on the chain for the strap. So then we're also going to show you how to make a little hat that's single crochet stitches that are done in the back loop. So that would be to cover a head. So then there's a toilet paper topper to cover your toilet paper, and that started at the top and then worked down straight on the rounds on the side. And then here's a mason jar cover for the lid, a lid cover. This looks like it's sport weight yarn, and you just do several rounds of lace and then thread the ribbon through to tie it. This makes great covers for jars, like if you're going to give gifts of honey or whatever. Then the last project is this cute little mason jar cover, or it could be any jar cover. And then this is really easy. Started from the bottom, a shell stitch, and then this makes an adorable little vase. Or if you just take this out and you have like the lid on there, it'd be a great gift too. So all 7 of these projects are in different videos, and right now Christina is going to show you how to make these on a close-up, and the links to everything are listed below. And thank you very much for watching.
Hey everybody, it's Christina from maggiescrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this easy beginner baby hat. And when I say easy, I really do mean easy. This is probably the easiest hat pattern I've ever seen. It's designed to fit a 3 to 6 month old baby using bulky weight yarn in a size J10 hook. This one here is yellow. I'll be using a variegated yarn today, so I mean the color possibilities are endless. Make a pink one, make a blue one. Lots of fun stuff you can do with this super simple pattern. So you'll begin with your bulky weight yarn and size J hook and chain 19, which I've done here. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, so skip this first one here. There's my second one. I'm just going to go right down into there, grab a loop and pull it through. 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through both of them, and that's your first single crochet. Then you're just going to single crochet in each chain across. So by the time you get to the end of the row, you should have 18 single crochets. So I'm going to do this, the rest of this row real quick, and I'll come back and show you how to do row 2 and every row after that. So there's my first row, 18 single crochets. If your work kind of twists up on itself like that, don't worry about it. As you add more rows, it will smooth out and lay flat. For row 2 and every row after this, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work around. And now we're going to work only in the back loops. Normally when you single crochet, you go under a stitch like that, under 2 loops. See those 2 loops there? So we have the one closest to us, that's the front loop, and the one in back is the back loop. So I'm going to be working only in the back loop. So instead of going under both, I'm going to kind of go in between them and pick up just that back loop. And that's where I'll work my single crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way across. So after you do a couple, you will see you have this kind of ridge here in the front. Well, that's those front loops that you didn't work into. That's what creates the ridged look of this hat. So you'll finish row 2 working in the back loops all the way across. Row 3 is exactly the same. You'll chain 1, turn, and single crochet all the way across, only in the back loops. And like I said, that's what gives this ridge effect, is working only in those back loops. So you're going to do rows 2 through 32 exactly the same way. And when you get to the end of row 32, you can finish off, but make sure you leave a nice long end, at least 18 inches, because that's what you're going to be sewing your hat together with. Because when you finish this first part, it's just going to be a big flat piece of crochet. So make sure you leave a nice long end for sewing. I'm going to finish this up, get up to row 32, and then I'll come back and show you how to assemble our little hat here. So after you finish round 32, it's not going to look like a hat yet. You're going to have a large rectangle like I've got here. You can see where I've left my nice long end, and now we're just going to sew it together real quick. So I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to thread my needle. I find the easiest way to do this is grab your yarn a few inches back from the end and kind of just fold it in half and then pinch that in between your fingers. Then if you take your yarn needle, I've got one here with a nice big eye, it makes it easier, and just kind of wiggle that right down over that folded bit of yarn. It'll go right through nearly every time. So once I've done that, I'm going to kind of fold my piece together. And you can see here is the top end. You can see that nice edge, and this is the bottom end where my unused loops of the chain are. And starting from the side where my yarn's already attached, I'm just going to sew these together. I'll go under those loops and then under, we'll go under both loops on the other side. And I'm just going to kind of whip stitch this across evenly. They should line up, assuming that you didn't accidentally increase or decrease at any point. You ought to have the same number of stitches at the top and at the bottom. So this is why we left so much yarn at the end of our project, just to make sure we'd have plenty to do this with. And we'll just do this all the way across. It won't take you but just a second. You can also, if you don't have a yarn needle that your yarn will fit through, since this is a bulky weight yarn, you can just do this with your crochet hook and just, you know, feed your crochet hook in here instead of a needle, grab your yarn and pull it through. That will also certainly work as well if you need to do that. A lot of times that's what I'll do just so I don't have to try to go find a needle. Either way works perfectly fine. You just want to make sure you go all the way down the full length of the hat. And then when you get down here to the end, I'm going to go ahead and just do a little knot. Make sure it's nice and secure. But I'm not going to cut this off yet, because the last thing to do is form the top of our hat. And to do that, my yarn's still attached. I just tied a knot so that, you know, it wouldn't pull and gather any right there. I'm just going to take my needle and I'm going to kind of go in and out every other row. You can do this a couple ways. You can kind of go through the ridges that are up like that. You can go, if you want to go through a few more stitches, you can go through the bottom rows as well. Either way, you're just going to want to go all the way around and just loosely pull that through. Just like this. So I'm just going through the top ridges of each row. All the way around. almost back to the beginning, not quite there yet. Alright, and once you do make it back around to the beginning, which is right here, you can see there's my seam from sewing up the sides. Once you are back around to the beginning, just tug on your yarn until the top of your hat gathers together, just like that. And you may need to kind of, you know, adjust it, style it a little bit, but once you've done that, you can go ahead and just tie a knot and then weave in the end. So pretend I've woven in the end. Turning it inside out at this point will give you a little bit of a cleaner look there on top. And then you'll just fold up the very bottom of the hat for wearing, like that. Well guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about this project, you can certainly ask them down in the comments below. We'll do our best to help you out. And down in the description, you'll find the links to everything you need for this project. Thanks for watching.
And this is the third part, which we're going to do the edging round. So at the end of row 13, so what that is to just go between these two shells and go into that space right there and work a single crochet like that. So then